Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Reflected Reality Simulations. My name's Graham, this is X-Plane 10. We're going to be flying out of Nice Airport. Nice on the southern coast of France, the French Riviera. It's a stunning airport, a really beautiful environment. We'll be using it as a backdrop just to give you the introduction to Reflected Reality. Well, what's Reflected Reality Simulations all about? Well, that's a question I hope to answer as we fly around the pattern here at Nice. We're going to be flying this Yak 55. It's a lovely freeware aircraft, and X-Plane 10, more or less stock straight out the box. What you're looking at is just the HD Mesh version 3 on there as well. So we'll get underway and we'll have a chat about the channel, the sim, and what we hope to achieve. As I said, my name is Graham. I've been flying simulators for about 30 years or so. I started off flying things like English Electric Lightning on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. After that, moving on to the IBM PC and flying Microsoft Flight Simulator version 4. I've flown all the major versions beyond that, all the way up to Flight Sim 2004, and a little bit of Flight Sim 10 as well, Flight Sim X. But beyond Flight Sim 2004, I didn't really fly sims that much. The reason being I was fortunate enough to be able to fly real airplanes as well. I started off flying gliders at the local gliding club before being able to do my PPL. Add various ratings onto private pilot's license, ratings that allow me to fly tailwheel aircraft, fly them at night, and fly in instrument conditions as well. I also owned a share in a vintage tailwheel aircraft. We flew it around the northern part of the UK quite extensively for a number of years. The reason for Flight Sim being on hiatus for me is I was fortunate enough to be able to turn my hobby, my passion, into a career as well. I quit my job in IT and trained as a commercial pilot. At the moment I'm quite happily flying the Airbus A320 around Western Europe, out as far as the Middle East and down into North Africa. So why then are you watching me fly around in X-Plane 10? Well, I've only had X-Plane for about a week or so. One of the reasons I got X-Plane is basically I was reading the standard gaming news channels, keeping up with the flight sim news, and I saw the IXEG 737 had been released. The 737 model that IXEG have produced is a stunning model, and it was enough to pique my interest in X-Plane 10. So I had a look at it, purchased X-Plane 10 on Steam, got a few freeware models, this Yak 55 being one of them, and thought, you know, this is really quite stunning. Look at the visuals here as well, just as we fly downwind here at Nice with the sun setting behind the hill. This is a stock simulator, almost straight out the box, just with the addition of that extra mesh there. So that brings us to Reflected Reality Simulations and the reason behind the name. When you think about reflections, reflections in a quiet pond, for example, just the occasional ripple through the water, it makes the world that you see in that reflection look just that little bit more beautiful and a little bit more interesting as well. The ripples adding a touch of drama, a little bit of drama that you may not often see in the real world. Well, that's what flight simulation is like as well. In real world commercial flying, everything is by the book, as straightforward and as simple as we can possibly make it, keeping life simple and easy. In the simulator, it's a little bit more challenging, and I've seen a lot of flight sim videos, people giving you very detailed information on how to operate the various aircraft. Lots of button pushing and lots of very detailed flight planning, that sort of thing. I aim to do something quite different with this channel. I will give you the detailed information on the aircraft, but I want to show you some of the beauty of flying as well, and X-Plane 10 really is able to deliver that. One of the first videos I'm going to be showing you is the IXEG 737, then we'll look at some other freeware aircraft as well. PMDG are about to release DC-6 for X-Plane as well, so with a bit of luck we'll have an opportunity to look at that in the not too distant future. The sim you're seeing here is on a relatively vintage computer. It's running on an Intel i5 processor, clocked up at 4.5 gigahertz. It's running on an AMD Radeon HD 6800 graphics card, just about 1 gig of GPU memory, and I'm flying with a Cytec Evo 3D joystick, about $50 10 years ago. I do have a yoke pedals track IR, but not using for this. It's not really necessary. This sim looks amazingly good straight out the box. I just concentrate on landing this rather tricky little airplane here. Try and set the attitude, hold it off for a nice 3-point landing. and there we go, we're down. Just gradually apply the brakes. And we'll just do a short backtrack and get off the runway here. Again, this is stock scenery here. This is Nice straight out the box in X-Plane 10, and it really does look like the aircraft, like the airport in real life. A few weeks ago, I parked an Airbus on one of those stands you can see out the right hand side just as we turn the corner here. And looking at X-Plane as we come around the corner, look at that light reflection coming across the cowling on the aircraft as well. So I want this channel to be as interactive as possible. Any questions you have on the operation of the aircraft or on the sim setup, then please feel free to post your comments, your questions in the comments below. When we look at the more detailed sims, I'll try and put a little bit of reality behind it as well, tell you about procedures we use in the real life aircraft as much as possible, and we'll just take it from there basically. Suggestions on what you want to see, I'd be very happy to look at that. But first and foremost, I want this to be as interesting as possible. So that's about it. A very quick introduction to me, introduction to the channel and the aims. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you think it's appropriate, and we'll have some more content coming for you soon. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching.